The leaves are already browning and falling from the trees, and the nights are getting cooler and crisp. What if we brought fall into our homes as slowly and quietly and as subtle as nature welcomes and prepares itself for fall? So thank you for joining me here today. I want to take you with me through the day and show you some quiet, small and simple ways that I prepare our home for the upcoming season. And I have to say, it's one of my favorite seasons. You start to see the vibrant colors of summer fade a little bit. For me, fall is still full of color. It's full of warmth, and it gives me all of those cozy, warm vibes. This is the time of year where I put on my favorite sweaters. I wear my warm woolen socks, but it's also sunny enough to keep on a summer dress, but adorn it with woolen socks and a fuzzy sweater. When I think of fall and preparing my home for fall, I'm thinking of warm textiles. Just like you're putting on your warm sweater, well, think about bringing a warm colored tablecloth into your space, or putting a fuzzy knitted blanket on the couch, or bringing in some warm earth tone pillows. Bringing in some of those warm colors really cozies things up. Think about all of your senses, the way things feel, smell, and taste. And this is a wonderful time of year to really enhance the flavors, smells, and feelings of fall. My getting ready routine is incredibly simple, and so is my winding the day down routine. I put very little product on my face. I am 1 bar of soap, 1 type of lotion type of a girl. I have very sensitive skin. And lately I've been really enjoying the skincare from Typology, which is a French skincare company that follows European standards, which are much stricter than what we have in the US. And their products are 97 to 99% naturally derived. What I'm really loving about it is the vitamin C, the aloe vera, the squalene, all of the nutrients that I'm putting into my face. It's incredibly hydrating, but it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything at all. You all know me. I work out in the garden. I sweat. I work hard in my home. And when I put this stuff on, I feel like I'm not wearing anything at all, but I also have that beautiful natural glow. So this is a tinted serum, and it gives a light coverage with a natural no makeup finish, and it has vitamin C for brightening and glow, plus the squalene and aloe vera for deep hydration. So it evens out my skin while also nourishing it. And then I add the concealer for under my eyes. I reach for the concealer because it enriches with caffeine to wake up the tired eyes and reduce puffiness. It also has niacinamide to help fade dark circles over time. And I can tell you, as I'm starting to age, I am finding it super helpful to have a good coverage, but it's nice and light at the same time. I am absolutely in love with this tinted lip oil. I'm wearing the shade Powder Pink, and they do have a variety of richer colors. I went with really light, nice pinky colors. This has jojoba oil and vitamin E, which keep my lips soft and hydrated all day without feeling sticky at all. And here's my little trick. In France, it's so popular to dab it on your cheeks for that effortless monochromatic glow, lips and cheeks that are matching. It's simple and natural, and I love that. They are giving you an exclusive offer. When you shop through the link below and spend $40 or more, you'll get a free Hydrating Cleansing Milk. This cleanser has hyaluronic acid and chamomile to gently cleanse without drying your skin out. But this offer is for a short, limited time, so you're going to want to jump on it. And I'm just really loving this no makeup look. It feels fresh. It feels so good after a hot summer. I know you're going to love it too. Thanks for sponsoring today's video, Typology. One thing that tells me it's time for fall is when the apples and the pears and all those delicious fruits come into season. And that means it's time for baking and making yummy smelling things. One way to make your home smell absolutely amazing is by making apple butter, apple pie filling, apple sauce, all of the wonderful apple things, adding clove and cinnamon and nutmeg. It just makes your home smell like heaven. So we're going to be making some apple butter together today. Some of my favorite ways to preserve apples is by making applesauce, apple pie filling, and actually freezing the amount it takes to go into one pie and putting it in a gallon freezer bag. So all you have to do is thaw it out and put it in a pie. I also like to dehydrate my apples, and I like to make apple leather and fruit roll-ups from all of the applesauce, and even apple butter makes amazing fruit leather for my kids, and they eat it so fast it can hardly be preserved through winter. Another thing to really stir up those autumn feels inside is by making soups. This is the beginning of soup season. I am such a big fan of soup. I love the nourishing warmth that homemade broth brings. So I've thawed out a whole chicken here. I'm putting it into the Instapot. This is my favorite way to make homemade broths, is right here in the Instapot. And I like to throw in a whole onion and some celery, carrots, even some herbs and some salt. And it makes for a delicious chicken broth, and it only takes 45 minutes. And then your chicken comes out nice and tender, and you can add it to so many different types of soups. Soups are so simple. It's one of those one pot meals, and there's so many different varieties of soups to make. It's one of my favorite things about fall. This space that we're in now is one of my favorite spaces in our home, and I actually decorated it last fall with the beautiful wallpaper that is on the wall going up the stairs. And I redecorated these lampshades with this rich, warm felt fabric, and it just feels so warm and cozy and inviting. I love that room. Another way that I really arouse the senses of fall is by bringing in some good smells, especially when you're cleaning. So I like to add some orange essential oils and whole cloves to the vacuum. It's good to replace the filters in your vacuum every season. And when you're doing that, go ahead and throw in some essential oils. And this is a great mix for fall. And then in the dustbin dispenser, put in some whole cloves. And so while you're vacuuming, those whole cloves are swirling around, and all the air that's coming out of your vacuum smells so good. It smells like fall spices. I actually learned that trick from my friend Shawn, the wonderful woman who I used to clean with. She had a cleaning business. It's how I paid my way through college. I have many things to thank her for, but that trick I still use among the other cleaning wisdom that she gave me in my youth. So our apple butter has been on the stove for a couple hours. It cooked for a couple hours, and I added some water to it so that it wouldn't burn on the bottom. And then I used the immersion blender to blend it all up into a smooth sauce. And now we're just going to let it sit here on the stove and wait for it to just get really thick and creamy. But I'm stirring it now and then so it doesn't burn on the bottom. So the next thing we're going to make are some apple dumplings. This was a fun recipe. It's really more of a hack for apple dumplings. It's so simple, so easy. My lovely friend Jessie shared this with me. She made it at her house last time we were there, and it was so delicious. I had to just share it with you guys. And the surprising piece is that it's made with refrigerator croissant dough. So if you have the time, go ahead and make yours from scratch. But I just followed her recipe exactly and used refrigerator croissant rolls. Slice up some apples, roll them up into the croissants, and then melt a cup of butter in a skillet and add a cup and a half of sugar. Melt that down a little bit, but I didn't melt it down all the way. It's kind of nice when you leave some sugar crystals in there, because next we're going to pour it right over the apple dumplings, and the crystally sugar creates this crunchy coating on top of the apple dumplings. So it's absolutely delicious. Crispy on top, soft on the bottom. And then I would guess the secret ingredient to this recipe, the surprising ingredient to this recipe, is adding soda. So I'm using a poppy lemon lime soda. I think the original recipe actually calls for Mountain Dew. I'm using lemon lime. I think either of those would work, but you pour that on top and then bake it off in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes until the apple dumplings are golden on top. And I will put this recipe down in the description box below. This is a great recipe to make if you have company coming over and you want to put something together in like 15 minutes. This is so quick, so fast, and surprisingly delicious. This is especially good when you waterfall the caramel sauce over vanilla ice cream. I hope you guys enjoyed these simple ways that we prepare our home for the fall season. Recipes will be down in the description box below. Make sure to say hi in the comments. I love hearing your guys' ideas. And just a quick little update on the skincare. I have literally been sweating in the kitchen, but my skin feels great and it looks great still. It feels fresh and glowing and beautiful. So don't forget, Typology is also in the description box below. Love you lots.